Good day, friends. Good evening, humans. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful last days on this heavy and very injured earth. Today's little chapter of our old existence, I'll try to detangle a little bit out of the ordinary. I will ask questions, but I don't expect any answers. Not at least from all of you, but from some. If you can maybe hear to the end and try to answer it really honestly and from your heart. What do you feel about these my little blurs? And basically nothing else but a list of questions that would eventually trigger you into self-discovery. So, title for today goes like this: Basis of Nobility. Serving others with what you have. Many low-esteem people, they don't have much. They just have problems. They have very bad situations. They have no money. They're desperate. They're angry. They're guilty. They're jealous. They're greedy. And most of all, they're very ill, physically, emotionally, mentally. Yet what to do with this? It's what this kind of being ill society has to do with a nobility. First, the word nobility, as presented in some of these fake dictionaries that we're really following as a Bible letter that we cannot go astray. One of the descriptions of nobility is being noble. That means that you living in virtue. Yet, being noble, you can be in character, as per dictionary. Yet, I'm asking you, indirectly, what were your actions for you to become noble? Not as per Webster's dictionary, but as per your own acknowledgement what noble means. So we can discuss about being noble in the character, or in actions, or in words. So being noble is living in virtue. Being noble is emanate with goodness. Being noble is filled with honesty. Being noble is spreading the integrity, the true, unjustifiable integrity. Not some fake, law-abiding, legal integrity. Being noble is being generous. Generous with your time, generous with your energy, and generous with your good deeds. Being noble is if you continue to live in in selflessness. And most of all, being noble is simply being brave. To live life as it is, and to become a better person that you've ever been. That you've been yesterday, that you've been 2 days ago, that you've been in a previous life. So another description of nobility in a dictionary is about what noble means. To me, just another dirty trick that this dictionary or the darkness abused the scriptures in dictionaries and how they're presenting this word of nobility. It goes like this: nobility equals the quality of belonging in the aristocracy. And nobility is after 1722. Nobility was only acquired in the army or bureaucracy. So they have kind of filled layers of the royals or nobles in through the courts, let's say through the place where you're born in these noble families or so-called noble families, and you cannot buy nobility until recently. That bureaucracy was awarded to be a nobles, and army people were basically awarded with all these stars. They were fighting for this nobility, the wars that the nobles doesn't want to fight, or at least not in the open. So when you go in and dig deeper in the past, you can see that every war was run by some noble characters, noble, royal characters. And we have to follow them, or we had to follow them, until recent time. They tried to trick us in the last couple of decades, and you can see who are the names. They are becoming knights and sirs and all this other fake crap that the Queen Elizabeth is announcing. Can give you some names. Some of the old ones, let's say old ones, 2000, whatever, 5, 6, 7, 16, 17, and so. Sir Richard Branson. He gets his nobility by buying into it. So he becomes an owner of many businesses, paying all the taxes that goes directly to the Queen and the rest of the noble royal pricks. Another one of these kind of moguls is Terry Matthews from Canada, who again bought all of the land that he can in Ontario, Quebec, Manitoba, and so on, becoming, let's say, extended hand of the Queen inside of Canada. Another one, recent one, is Andy Murray, the tennis player, 20, 30 years old guy. Suddenly he becomes Sir. He is a knight of the court because he plays a game of the rich and powerful. He is the number one player at the present time. So as soon as you are leading in your field of whatever you do, you become knighted. Crap like knights, ladies, and so on were just, to me, titles that are enticing everybody else to, they want to become one. Who want to become like a queen? Are you? Whenever queen, they are to put Sir Jesus Christ. Or she could put Sir Donald Trump. Or Sir Julian Assange. The reason why, because none of these great beings don't want to accept this kind of fake nobility that is twisted out of the real meaning of the word. Because these beings, like Jesus, like Trump, like Assange, are bringing a true nobility into the existence. Yet the fake nobility that was presented in last, let's say, 2,000-3,000 years was just like dying down, and this fake light is completely now diminished because everybody can see through all this how ridiculous these kind of approaches. So having some slight understanding where I'm standing with this sir thing. Why they're always asking you when you're filling the forms, legal forms. You put, choose, are you sir, are you mister, are you this, are you that? Are you doctor, are you... So you almost like entice your energy field to become one of these things. And many of these I was joking when I was filling these forms, just for the sake of playing them out. I want to put something else. Because I don't want to be sir, I don't want to be mister. I don't want to be mistress. And I don't want to be, especially not the doctor. Not these kind of doctors, they are presenting themselves here. Because these are all the, let's say, lower layers of these fake nobility who was ruling the planet at the present time. Yet, with many brave people like Julian Assange's, like Trump's, we will transmute this. We will bring the word nobility to its true meaning. It will reflect a virtue of one being. It will reflect of caring for others. It will reflect being selfless, that you will give all that you have. And we all have a lot, individually and collectively. Say if we are a nation, or if we are a town, or if we are a family. We have much more that our dollar numbers are showing in our bank account. Because this is not true nobility. This is a fakery. This is the demise of the Babylonian society that we lived in. We never get out of this Babylonian tower where hypocrisy ruled through different layers of existence. Why pyramids are always prominent in these writings about hierarchical pyramid. There is on top this, there is underneath layers and layers and layers, and they are bigger and bigger until you base this down to a base where it's actually representing the humanity in itself, which is everybody else. So what Denise and I did in many occasions, and one that we were fully involved, was one of the, let's call it Bilderberg attempt to take over the prosperity funds through Swissindo and through United Nations. So what we really played a very crucial role into diminishing this totally fake yet very so-called noble and royal entity who created itself from decrees from the Queen, from decrees from the Soros, from money from Bill Gates, and so on. And they were trying to bring a picture that they are there as saviors of our planet, and especially our people, let's say all the rest of the people. So they're coming up with a plan. They call it 1 to 11, which on the first place, the royals will receive so and so billions and trillions of dollars. Second layer is the governmental offices will receive so and so. Third layer is like a industrial and military complex. And on the 11th layer was the people will receive their prosperity funds when all these things has been accomplished. What Denise came with an absolutely brilliant idea, that she asked this truly freak of Sino, the guy who's just absolute alien walking on this, or walked on this planet. She suggested him openly because she was sitting in their midst for almost a year to switch this pyramid and put 11 on top and then going down. So the first thing that should be accomplished is to give a people money, that this is actually belonging by a birth on this planet. Yet this caused such a big commotion in their circles that they could not sustain it. Suddenly Soros drops out of this. Bill Gates is not even close to this. Indonesian government start chasing Sino for fraud, for theft, for falsificating things in the so-called contracts. Yet nobody want to talk about this too openly, because it actually shows how this fake nobility was building their power. They were stripped out pretty much recently, in the last 10 years, of all their powers, of all their ownerships, because Prime Creator said this is enough of this game of ownership through the land titles, the ownership of all the followers of certain sects, like religious sects. This is stripped out, yet nobody told the people until this time, until the Trump, until Julian Assange, until Denise and I. And this is what we can only do. Not to claim our nobility by their rules. I'm claiming my own nobility by my own rules, by my own deeds, and by my own words. The true nobility reflects what you can do for everybody else in your best capacity, whatever you are, a cook, a baker, a painter, a builder, a talker, computer programmer. You can bring to everybody else your own ability by showing your true virtues through your actions, not through following the same old rules of the old so-called fake nobility. So I wish you all to become, as soon as possible, true divinely noble, not just noble like Branson's or Terry Matthews or these freaks that running on the court left and right, tennis players. But you become true noble person or being who discovering its own qualities. They can be shared